Road. All right, so could someone just tell me what the first application is as I go to pull it up?
I think it was.
Yeah. It's 31 Low Beach.
31 Low Beach. All right. Here we go. I see that Holly has some information on this one. Share. Perfect. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
With,
Yes,
and it's 31 Low Beach on there?
Yes, it is.
yes.
Fantastic. All right. So Lisa, you can do your thing. And like I said, I do have some information from Holly that I'm going to share once Lisa's all set.
Okay. So let me just go back to, okay, so hold on just a second. Oh, I see what they're doing now is they're moving the cottage back to the back of the building, to the back of the property.
Yep.
And taking off the rear addition. And making some architectural changes to it. So that big, I believe it's the big shed in the back that's being removed, the big rear L.
Yeah. They had proposed this is Rob, they had proposed an addition that sort of looked like the other massing before, but now they're just going to take it off.
And move the building to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And turn it into a garage on the first level.
I don't think it's going to be a garage specifically. Can you just go back, Kadeem? I don't have my copy up, sorry.
Well, if you
Yep.
look at that south elevation, there are two garage doors.
Yeah, I
and
think
it's-
that there, yeah, I just want to look at the floor plan, Kadeem.
Oh, sorry
I see
about
those, I
that.
think that those might just be shed doors, but because there's parking in front.
It looks
Oh, yeah,
like
garage
garage
space.
space.
You're right.
All right.
My apologies, I was on vacation and I just got back today, so I'm sort of behind the 8 ball. Haven't looked at this.
Rob, you are muted if you were talking.
Okay. Yep. Sorry. Thank you. What were there some other any comments from the public on this? I see there's a few people on. Kadeem, you mentioned there was something from Holly.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of history from NPT that Holly had added to this submission here. I'm not sure if you guys want to go about reading it or just, there's some history here. Give me 1 second. Holly, how do you want me to share this history?
It's right there.
You just have them just read.
Put it
Okay.
right up.
All right. Oh yeah, so this was sent from Mary Bergman. I'm assuming you're reading it, so I'm not.
That's cool. Looks like there's some real history there with
Oh,
inhabitants.
Would you like me to scroll down? There seems to be some photos here. I'm happy to send you guys this reading too, of course. Let's see.
wow.
There was a
So you have a lot of history here.
yeah, really. That's a great document. Kadeem, would you can you scroll back up to the bottom of her letter, right above that plan there?
Mhm. Isn't that wonderful?
It's very cool.
it looks like there's some more history here to consider. Um, I was looking at this as 1938, but if you look at the survey that was provided, it's from Macris. It's, you know, it says 1938, but it may be earlier, and it describes it as a gable, and it's clearly a hip. So it makes you wonder how thorough the survey was. But even in that, it said that it was contributing.
Right. The other interesting thing, Angus, is if you look at the roof pitch, it's so much steeper now that it shows in that old
Mhm.
image. That's a very shallow hip roof, and the current house has a much larger hip to it.
It kind of reminds me of, forgotten the number, it might be 31 Main Street, the corner of Sankaty and Main, where there was one roof plane added on top of another.
Well, they added the second floor at some point, and the roof got rebuilt because there
Yeah,
were no dormers before, and now there are dormers. And it doesn't look like in that historic picture that the dormers would have made a difference in terms of the height of that roof. So it's obviously an older structure, but it seems like the roof was rebuilt at some point to add the second floor program.
and all the other proposals, alterations with windows and different parts of this, I think what has given us a bit of confidence about it is the retaining it in its location in relation to the road. And even though the larger house was being built in the back and other stuff was going on, that was staying somewhat, intact. Moving it to the back and turning it into a garage is disheartening to see as a proposal. But there's clearly more history to it than was provided. I'd rather hold this till there's all the information that we can get on it, because something's happened over time. As Lisa's pointed out, it's the roof has been rebuilt.
Significantly altered.
But
Yeah, I
there's
think that- I
looks
think
like
that's a good idea.
Is that the decision? Am I still, are we,
Yes, I'm sorry, Kadeem. I'm just trying to get myself caught up here.
got it, sounds good. Just let me know what you'd like me to do. I'm happy to stay here for the meantime.
Okay, yeah, please do.
This is Mary. I'm just completely confused. Has this house, which we've been considering as a house all along and not moving it out of its current location, is now with its second story on it going to become a garage in the back? I mean,
No, it's gonna be a garage on the one level, but then a retained dwelling on the second floor.
I see. Hence the reason the chimney stayed.
Mhm.
I don't know why the chimney stayed. There's no fireplace. It's
Mm.
basically been turned into, 4 bedrooms and a 2-car place.
There's no bathroom in this 4-bedroom house.
Excellent observation.
Uh,
well, that's
Well,
something that-
I think, and I'll have to talk to
Ready.
Ray about this, but I think the point was more about the relocation, and maybe they hadn't quite figured out how the program was gonna work yet, since it wasn't in, because that's was more about the relocation and the removal of the rear L. I'm not sure the plans completely worked out.
Yeah,
frankly, looking at this.
this is Mary. I'm not in the least bit comfortable in making any determination on this because it's so clearly not ready for our consideration. I mean, yeah. It's got to hold because it is ready. You can't have a 4-bedroom house without a bathroom that's really a garage.
As
Yeah,
I
this,
said, I think it was more about the relocation of the building to the back, not what's happening on the inside. But maybe you feel like you can't respond to that without understanding the interior program.
Yeah,
Well, I think
we need to see a full-on program because I have very little confidence in what's going on here that we can't really evaluate until we haven't seen the main house.
The main house has been reviewed and approved. And I can certainly submit the approval with whatever new information we submit.
Did we ever see that, Rob?
Yep.
yeah, yes,
Okay,
I mean, understandably, you saw that in the context of it being behind this building,
mhm.
but it has been approved.
that is correct. This is Rob. I really think we should hold this so we can absorb all the information that's been provided to us regarding the actual building itself. And that would really guide us much more fully into the proposal to move it back, turning it into a garage notwithstanding. So Lisa, if that's okay.
That's okay. That's fine. Kadeem, would you mind forwarding me that information, the historic information that this? Yeah, that'd be great.
Happy to do so.
If it's possible, Lisa, if you could just sort of provide any information about the evolution, just so that we can understand.
Yeah, I'll
ultimately there
find
was-
out from Ray if there's any place to see the framing of the roof. Because it looks to me almost like it really looks sort of like a different building. To me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, I guess there was, from the new information, it looks like there was a structure there, similar structure there
Right.
in the 1800s. But what happened between now and then?
Right, because if you go to that historic picture, it actually had a negative mass of a porch,
Yep.
which isn't there anymore. That's obviously been filled in. The roof is quite a bit taller. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, amazing.
we also, this is Clement, remember but we also looked at, they wanted to change the windows and the dormers, and
Mm.
we've looked at this little house a couple of times. Anyway, I love the frontage on Low Beach Road of this little house. I think it's quite adorable. And it seems as if they want a garage and a guest house, so they're just trying to reuse this house and make it to be what they want.
Okay, yeah, this is Rob, and can I just pause for 1 minute to take the roll for this meeting of the Sconset Advisory Board for September 20th, 2021. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Angus McLeod. Angus, are you there? All right, well, the chair knows.
Thanks, Rob. My screen was dancing around. I tried
Yeah.
to catch it. Thanks, Rob.
So the chair notes the presence of Angus McLeod, Caroline Ellis, Mary Lathrop Will, and Rob Benchley, and Clement Durkis. And so with that little piece of information, we can proceed legally. So, and I will attest to the veracity of everything we've said prior to my announcing this being an official meeting. Okay, let's continue. Thank you, everybody.
So I think it was basically a hold for more information. Because the windows
Yeah.
also look different. These are 6/6s. The current windows are 6/1s. I'll see if I can get some more information from the interior of the building in terms of the evolution.
That'll be
'Cause
terrific.
to me, it looks like it might be a different structure.
Yeah, I was thinking Codfish Park almost, but,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, so, then we will hold this. Thank you, Lisa, for more information.
You're welcome.
It's always fascinating what, gets found out about these
Yes.
things.
Rob, just as a point of order,
Yeah.
Caroline sends her regards, but she isn't attending the meeting.
Oh, she is not. I'm sorry. Thank you for that clarification.
Yep.
Rob, was there a motion made on that and was it voted and all that for us to move on to the
No,
next?
but I
one?
can make, I will take a motion to hold this for more information.
I'll make that motion, Mary.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Second,
Thank you. All those in favor, I'll just take a voice vote over the Zoom machine. All in
Aye.
favor? Aye,
Aye.
okay. Thank you. The ayes have it.
Fantastic. And Lisa, the second application was
27 Baxter.
27 Baxter. All right, here we are. Can you guys see that application just fine?
yes,
Perfect.
So this
Okay.
is Sea Days. It's a magnificent house on Baxter Road. It is the primary reason for us doing work to the house was to add a foundation under the building without changing the height of the structure. And then there were some fenestration changes taking place. And so you can see, so from the east elevation, the only change is we need to rework the glazing on that elevation into the dining room due to the removal of some stairs that go down in that direction. But other than that, there were no changes to that elevation. On the north, we are proposing refenestrating the dormers slightly differently and actually raising the roof over the dining room slightly and adding a small little dormer. This building is very challenged in terms of its second floor space because so much of it is single story, which nobody wants to change. So in order to make a more, a truly functioning bathroom, the current bathroom doesn't function at all, really, that's in that gable. We were proposing raising the roof a little bit and adding that dormer. That's really the only significant massing changes. We thought that from the west, it, is a little bit taller, but it seems quirky and in character with the rest of the house to add a dormer there. And then this was the opposite elevation. We refenestrated that other dormer. And other than that, I don't think we removed a door and turned it into a window and added a window well.
Wow. Any comments from anybody? It's quite it's a remarkable building.
It is. And, I think the owners who have owned it for a long time now, I don't know exactly how long, but certainly probably
7 or 8 years.
more than that, because I think they bought it from Brian Simmons, and I'm trying to think of when we did his renovation. It's been a long time. I mean, I think we did Brian Simmons renovation probably 15, 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. So they've owned it since then. So they're just getting to the point where they need a little bit more with a growing family, a little bit more living space. So the basement was the biggest part of that renovation. And then in reorganizing the second floor, it became evident if we could add some volume above the existing dining room, that could make that hall bathroom actually function rather than being very low. I can tell you right now that the ridge is at 6 feet. The ridge currently is at 6 feet 4 in that bedroom, in that bathroom.
Yeah, wow.
Rob, I'm happy to start.
Thank you. Go ahead, Angus.
On the south elevation, since it's showing here, I'd rather see the existing dormers stay with the 3 windows. It doesn't look like the windows change too dramatically, or unless those are like, are those casements that are, or awnings or something, the 4 lights that turn into 2x2s?
Yeah, they might be. They're okay. I see the difference. So you'd rather just keep the existing fenestration?
Well, my concern is that for maybe raising the eave a foot, there's the architectural fabric that is lost in the dormer, the face of it,
Mhm.
and the roof, and it doesn't seem like it's worth the change, as far as what you lose and what you gain.
Yeah, it's more, it's more from the interior floor plan functionality of those rooms, because right now the eave there is at, I believe, less than, it might be at 5.6. It's quite low.
Yeah.
So it was functionality.
Yeah, I mean, all these old houses, they're just, they're a different scale than what we're used to building now, but that's part of the charm. Yeah, thanks for scrolling. Yeah, in this elevation, the west elevation, I would rather see that that dormer scoot and center over the triple below it. I can
Well-
see the other roof line there, but it looks a little wonky. If that were possible. It's got a 4 pitch, so it's got a decent pitch to it, that you're seeing in the north elevation.
Mhm.
The revised fenestration in that other large dormer is somewhat reminiscent of the old dormer. It's just kind of switching
Mhm.
windows around, so it doesn't seem that different. There are some blank areas that are shown underneath the shingle line in some areas, like in the north elevation. What is that now, and what would it be?
You mean at the foundation? If you go to the north?
Yeah,
You know what? I'll have to, let me look at some pictures. I mean, I don't think we're proposing any change. Do we probably have photos of that? Well, there's.
I mean, if there isn't a basement now, is there a foundation? Is it, what is it?
There are hedges around this entire structure.
Right.
So you don't, the one elevation you might see is the north, and I'm trying to, it's in shadow, but I think there's boxwoods in front of the entire structure.
Boxwood or hydrangeas.
Yeah, see the boxwood? So I don't know what's under there at the moment, but I presumably the landscape will go back in the same way.
It's
This is
just such a
Clement.
highly visible
Yeah.
property, from the bluff walk and from Baxter. I'm sorry, Clement, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Angus, but I'm just concerned about I know, I'm sure some engineer has figured this out, that the task of digging a basement underneath this house on the bluff, so close to the bluff.
Well, it's been done. I mean, it was done at the Simmons house next door. It was done, there's multiple houses that have had basements put under them. And if they're within a resource area, so close to resource area, they will have to go to the Concom. But
Yeah.
my understanding is the resource area at this end of the bluff has changed to the toe of the bank now. It's no longer the top of the bluff.
Yeah, this is
No,
Rob. Yeah, this house is way back from way back from the footpath and the edge of the bluff. Just for your information. Or the last time I checked it was. It's been a few weeks.
I don't think they're having erosion bad down here, are they?
Well, the beach is, but compared to, but you know, that's compared to decades ago. So anyway. This is Rob. Any other comments, Mary?
Nope, I agree with Angus.
So it sounds like in general, you're not so concerned about raising the roof over the dining room. You just want me to look at the placement of that, consider the placement of that dormer a little bit more, Angus, is that correct?
In the north elevation, I was noticing the dormer. I wasn't noticing the gable being raised.
It's raised 2 feet.
Yeah,
It's not a significant raise. It's really only to, again, if you look at the floor plan, the bathroom that's in that gable end at the moment, the center of that ridge is at 6'4". So you physically cannot, it's a bathroom that nobody will use because you can't even shower in that bathroom.
it was probably attic, right? And then they just thought, okay, we can fit a bathroom in here.
At some point, somebody put a bathroom in there, but it's, I think they're feeling the owner's feeling is if they're going to go through this effort to actually get a hall bathroom that can function properly for a normal, even a small human like myself, that's only 5'4", would be ideal. So that's why they were raising that.
Yeah,
Okay,
it would be
great.
great if it could fit in somewhere within the constraints of the roof, because what it means is just, removing everything in order to raise it up.
Yeah. So it's that little bathroom where the toilet is, and that shows the dormer up at the top of the page, Kadeen.
Oh,
See where it says new dormer? It's that bathroom.
got it.
So if
Thank
you
you.
look at the existing plan, that basically the tub is centered under, and at the highest point is 6 feet. So there's no opportunity for a shower head or anything. The knee wall's at 3 feet 11. So that was the impetus for raising that roof. And I understand the removal of the fabric, of course, but I think in terms of the generation of buildings, as we know, they've changed many times, so they continue to change over time. It is, I think, the most sensitive way of getting more square footage onto the structure, rather than building a second floor on top of the garage, or excuse me, the kitchen, or raising the garage. It felt like the best solution architecturally.
Yeah, hips are kind of tricky. They don't lend well to second floor additions.
And I think the way that I don't know who designed the garage addition. I think it was Bentley Churchill. I think the way that they did do it was great, because when you look at that building from the road, it doesn't mask at all the main architecture of the building. So, if you were to try to expand the second floor over the garage space, that would then really begin to impact the visibility of the main part of the structure. And that's why we chose to leave that the way it is, and try to, again, just improve this bathroom on the second floor on an appendage, which is still clearly secondary and is quirky like the rest of the house. We thought it was successful.
Great.
Yeah, I guess someone's using the toilet and the sink and the tub.
They're not. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Nobody uses that bathroom because it doesn't function. They use the mask. They go to the parents' bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay, great. This is Rob. Any other comments? I will take these notes and
Okay.
apply them to our board members. And if there's no further business, then I will I'll make a motion to approve our comments we've made so far.
Okay, thank you all for accommodating me. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
yeah.
I wasn't unable to join last week.
Lisa, we'll get these notes forwarded to you as soon as Rob is able to get them to me.
Okay, thanks, Kadeem.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. Okay. Motion to approve the comments we've made so far. Coming from Rob.
I'll approve them. This is Mary.
Okay, thank you.
Was that a motion? Do we need a second?
I think Mary just seconded.
Okay,
All those in favor, please say aye.
aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Clement. Clement's muted.
Okay. Well, we have three.
Aye.
There we go.
Thank you. And then I will take a motion from anyone to adjourn.
So moved.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Kadeem,
guys.
Kadeem, thank you so much. I've got some other stuff I want to talk to you about. Maybe are you guys in the office these days?
We are in the office these days, so feel free to come on by whenever. You actually have my number. Shoot me a text before and we can just, set something up briefly.
Great, good. I have some other SAB business and I'd love to figure out the technical difficulties we're having. Okay, everybody.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank-
Great,
Thank
thanks
you very
all.
much.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
all.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.